quality of our teachers actually good too?
That's another question.
Is the quality of the teachers good? Yes, we'll recruit all these
I
teachers.
think the quality of the teachers is good, and you cannot be given a government school when you fail. They first ask you for your papers, you bring a lot of your papers, and you know we have many teachers who are more than qualified even.
I have something to say. I must be honest about this point.
Yes.
Now, for us teachers, we are in book all the time. We keep on upgrading. Grade 3, diploma, times degree level. But the salary remains same. I was questioning.
Even when you've upgraded.
So whether the other has
I am
a certificate.
I'm a diploma holder now, but the salary has remained for grade 3. I think government should do something about it.
There is nothing changed.
Yeah, that's why we go back and say that the government has not attached enough value to the education of the country.
I think we've talked about feeding things to people, but what should be the obligation of the government?
You keep singing obligation, obligation.
To make education better. What should be? What do you expect from government to do?
To motivate teachers to be at school. I've gone to so many schools and I've seen it. Teachers need to have some food too at school. One, the grants take so long, sometimes they're delayed, sometimes the quarter bumps into another quarter, there are all those delays and there's no cash to run a school. So there's no petty cash from where to pick some sugar to have these teachers have a cup of tea and probably a bun, or even if it's ocean beans for lunch. Because they are there the whole day to midday meal time.
I want to close with this. A report that USO did, and they called it an initiative called See You at School. I like this. This tracks school attendance for both teachers and pupils, and this is how it is. School head teachers share attendance lists with NGOs, and the NGOs convert information into data and they send it to district authorities for action. It has worked in Kenya, it has worked in Tanzania, but also they use mobile phones to monitor teacher and people attendance. How does the mobile phone work? You call a teacher and ask them where they are.
I think that is for attendance, because if like the DEO will always account for the absenteeism. So we send him that today were so many, and then he starts asking how comes that 200 children are absent. So you see, a mobile phone is helping to what? To track absenteeism.
How do you track attendance of teachers and pupils in your own school?
Before we track, I'd like probably to add this. Much as there is absenteeism, I'm adding on his, but a positive one. One thing that UWEZO does and has done since 2010 is to actually do a head count in class from P1 up to P7.
You go there with your
you go there and go to class and count. And that's how they come up with their statistics of absenteeism.
But actually we used to have
because
such
their head
things.
counts. So inspector should also maybe copy that and arrive, I don't know how the inspectors do it, and actually randomly select school, P1, how many, check the registers or the rotas, how many ought to be there in actual, and then push on the head teacher or wonder why.
Right.
Demand an explanation.
Right.
Yes, if the citizens take it upon themselves, but the education ministry and the inspector should also be doing their jobs.
Like in Ngaba demonstration school, I think what they do is there's a board which they put the attendance of every day and the teachers on duty.
The total school.
Yes. But now that one alone is not enough. What we are feeling that even the parents, we should take part. Today, my child went to school. Have you done a follow-up? Have you gone to school to check if the child is there? That one will also help. On the side of people. Then the most important thing, and this one I will stand by it, let the government look for a way of provision of what, at least food. Because I'm telling you, and this one is why we find children are looking for money through scraps. So that at least they go and buy something when they are there. So the government, in as much as we say that the government of Uganda, it has really left everything to God I know.
Right. Well, when we were in school, I remember there were those random visits, or even the headmaster passes by the class to see.
And you see him in the window.
If the teacher is there. Ultimately, parents These are your children,
Your
not for the
problem.
government. I think that only stops here in Uganda. The child is yours, not for the government. Let's take a short break. We'll be right back.
Yeah, Jeturi, tubereyeyo nga tukola. Mpora, just sometimes we chill around. Kare bandabire, please. Okay. Because I'm marking, you will forgive me. Some handwritings, you have to mark them under the influence of assumption. Because the handwritings are too terrible. Some pupils that I am marking have a foot writing, not a handwriting. How do you begin marking such a person? And with this UPE that came, everyone has to pass. So I have to show that I am teaching and everyone is getting promoted and entering the next class as I get my salary. Don't blame me, please. And I wonder why the government blames us about teachers being absent in schools. Singa berago. Anyo. Now look at these ones they are calling me. Really. I can't go there even if they do what? Because I've been through enough. Kamurimbo ravi. Yes, hello. Headmistress. Yes, how are you? Manang, I'm not fine. Because back at home, you know, I had a maid who got pregnant. Yes, the other one who got pregnant under my roof. Now there's a man who is suspected to have impregnated her. Now leave that man. There's the woman who is the neighbor of that man. Now leave the woman. Now the husband of that woman. He died. He died. We have to go for a burial. Yes. But I'll come. I come. Next week I will endeavor to come. Thank you for understanding. Whatever. We've run out of reasons to give. You cannot give an appropriate reason. Because we have given reasons as well. This school, those pupils are very brilliant. That me, the teacher, if I sat with them in the exam, they would win me. Do you know how demoralizing that is for me? Do you know how hard it is for me to teach pupils who are more intelligent than I am? Kati nze ngende yo nsware. Nange nina feelings, but nange ndi muntu. I feel bad also. Kati nyino genda nga I am ready for them. So I first do revision. I give myself exams. So that when I go to give them the lesson, I am at par. And I don't allow questions. Those things of putting, teacher, may I ask a question? No, when you ask me a question, I give you a boomerang. I give it to you as homework. There's a time one of the students asked me a question. I suspended myself for a month because I was embarrassed. Because now there are some students who are very dense. In the class you ask, have you understood? Do you have any questions? No. Have you understood? No. What haven't you understood? Everything. After a lesson of 1 hour. Now these ones are so cool. Man, I'm one person. I cannot be in 5 schools at the same time. But I still need that man. I have to teach all those schools to get a cent as well. I will still teach. Now these ones want their past papers. What do they expect me to do? I went to the bar just the other day, and when I reached at home in the next morning, I realized that I lost those papers. But am I not going to survive or live happily ever after because I lost past papers? I won't take those papers, and I want my salary at the end of the month.